that him? Hi. Support open meeting law?
Sorry?
You're going to support the open meeting law bill 2817?
I don't even know what the bill is. Whose is
It's at the
this?
legislature. It's Bruce Town and Brad Hill, but it's a House bill.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll talk to Senator Tarr. Thank you.
Should be our justices. They should be speaking for the people of America. Look at all the gains we've made over the last year or so. We haven't been on to vote for us. Should let justices stop the momentum we have in America's land. You know, gay couples are getting married here and across the country. Deserve the same federal recognition as straight couples. That's why I'm proud Boston signed in front of the court brief supporting the overturn of DOMA. I say to all of you, it's time for every elected official to get behind it. And not just today, but every day when the tough issue out there. You know, America's about equality. This issue is about equality also. We're going to make sure everyone has equal opportunities as we want everyone to have in America. Not just for some of the people, but for all of our people. And that's what this is all about, folks. Living up to the high ideals of this country that was founded on those principles. Across our country, we see politicians finally catching up to the people on this issue. Just a couple weeks ago, wasn't a Republican candidate for president changed his mind? He said, oh my God, I was wrong. Let's get a lot of those politicians out there who are just on the fence. It's time to get off the fence and get on the issue. And let's tell the Supreme Court, get off the fence, make the right decision today and tomorrow. It's about justice for all our people. It's for everyone having marriage equality. That's so important. I just want to say to all of you, keep up the battle. It's not ended. It's beginning. We've won some victories recently. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you for your continued support of this issue. I'll stand with you every day of the week. If you need me, just call me. Thanks a lot.
To a congressman who has dedicated his entire career to being a leader on LGBTQ issues, someone who is one of the few remaining sitting congressmen who voted against DOMA in 1993, a mass equality endorsed candidate for federal Senate, and hopefully our next U.S. Senator, Congressman Ed Markey.
Thank you so much. Today is truly an historic day, and it is because of you. It is because of what started here in Massachusetts as a movement that has now changed the entire United States of America. And thank you all for standing up so many years ago. When we voted on DOMA in 1996, there are 435 members of Congress. 67 of us voted no on DOMA in 1996. There are only 29 of us left in Congress who voted no 17 years ago. And so, for those of us that voted no, and I was proud to stand with Barney Frank and Gary Studs in voting no as part of the Massachusetts delegation in 1996. Today is a great day to know that the Supreme Court is now going to hear this case. It's hearing these challenges because of groups like Mass Equality, who have been fearless champions of equal rights. And by the way, in this United States Senate race, I am proud to be the first federal candidate ever endorsed by Mass Equality, and I thank you for that. It means the world to me. This has been something I have believed in throughout my entire career in the United States Congress. And thank you to Tom Menino for being a fearless leader for the LGBT community, fearless leader for the women's community, fearless leader for all minorities to ensure that their rights are protected. Here, within 100 yards, back during revolutionary times, Bostonians stood up and said to King George, "We want our rights." And then William Lloyd Garrison, he stood here as part of the abolitionist movement, and he said, "With reasonable men I will reason, with humane men I will plead, but to tyrants I will show no quarter, nor waste my arguments." And today in the Supreme Court, we are having our day against those tyrants who are denying the right of equality for everyone in our country to be married to the person that they love. And then it was the suffragette movement that stood here to demand equal rights. And then it was those that were the freedom riders that started right here to ride south to get the rights for those in the South to be able to vote. And then it was here that the universal health care movement started that led to a national law that now provides health insurance for everyone. And finally, in the Supreme Court today, the repeal of Proposition 8, the declaration of the unconstitutionality of DOMA to ensure that everyone is totally protected under the 14th Amendment, equal protection of the United States of America. Today is an historic day for everyone in our country. This is a day about equal rights. It is a day about human rights. It is a day about dignity. The fight for marriage is about basic freedoms for our friends, for our neighbors, and for our soldiers. It is time that we guarantee to all Americans that they have a right to pursue their own happiness with whomever they choose. Any effort to deny equal protection under the law is unfair, discriminatory, and unconstitutional, and that is just plain wrong. The Supreme Court today has the opportunity to create a future where we recognize that it is absolutely fundamental that everyone be allowed to marry the person who they love. We must ensure that all LGBT Americans have the same freedoms as any other American and to receive the full benefits that any other American receives. So today, I am honored to stand with you and with families all across Massachusetts and our country and calling for the Supreme Court to extend the right of marriage equality to all Americans and to finally end this era of discrimination. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for being the revolutionaries of this generation, bringing change from Massachusetts to everyone in our country. Thank you all for everything you have done, and thank you for allowing me to be here with you.
We would not be able to get as far as we have gotten on marriage equality if it weren't for the courage of political leaders who have spoken up for equality long before it was popular, not because it was popular, but because it was right. We have a couple of those leaders and the folks who have just spoken, but I want to acknowledge a few other folks who are with us today, who are also some of those leaders. We have with us Representative Aaron Michaelwitz. Let's give him a round of applause. These are big allies, folks. City Councilor Matt O'Malley. Representative Linda Dorsina-Fora, who will speak later. Senator Stan Rosenberg. Representative Kate Hogan. City Councilor John Connolly. City Councilor Felix Arroyo. Representative Paul Leroux. Representative Dan Winslow, who will speak later. Senator Karen Spilka, who will speak later. Councilor Sal Lamatina.